the American people get behind what the president says he wants to do. So God bless.
Amen. God bless you too, JR. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil.
That's a tough act to top, but this congressman's going to try it. Trent Franks, Republican, Arizona. The congressman is an esteemed member of the Armed Services Committee. Congress, that's a tough act to top, I grant you. But what do you think of the president's view that by the end of next year, we're out of there, we're done, aren't we?
Well, I don't think that that's clearly in evidence yet. You know, the top Iraqi commander said that they would probably need support at least till 2020. And I think the president would have done well to simply say, you know, that we've achieved a significant victory here, and there's a reduction in hostilities. But we're going to be there with whatever it takes for as long as it takes, because I think that's an important thing for both our enemies and our friends to hear. And ironically, the date next year was predicated on the SOFA agreement that was signed under the Bush administration, and yet this president has tried to take credit for that, and I just have to say it's hard for me, because I remember when George Bush kind of had to walk like a noble lion through the pack of hyenas, all saying that, you know, the war couldn't be won, this war is lost. Even Barack Obama voted against the surge and voted against even sending material support, financial support to support our troops. And yet he continued to go forward and refused to lose. And I just got to tell you, this country may wish someday that the noble lion walked among us again if we face the bare teeth of an enemy like a nuclear Iran or something along those lines. And
well,
I just have to say to you, I don't think George Bush got his credit tonight.
Well, he did thank him. Maybe not for the surge, but he was
Are
you saying that this president doesn't have the resolve to take on Iran should it come to that?
Well, I'm saying that he's done nothing to demonstrate that. Iran has continued unabated to move forward. Iran has supplied insurgents in Iraq with the most dangerous weapons that we face, the ones that have killed more of our soldiers than anything else, the explosive form penetrators, and this president knows about that. And I just wonder now, you know, if we realize that Iran is such a force in the battle against America, what if indeed they had nuclear capability? I'm convinced, Neil, that the shadow of nuclear terrorism could fall upon the world, because this administration simply will not recognize what he's up against. And this is just next door to Iraq, so it's not so far away. And you know, my office 5 years ago called upon Iran to be referred to the Security Council, and it was considered that we were overreacting because they only had 164 centrifuges. Well, today they have 8,000. They only need 3,000 for essentially an industrial base to create nuclear weapons. And I just can't express to you what that means. But I guess that my main point was I just wanted to see George Bush get a little more credit. Sure, it's fine to call him a patriot, but they should have also called him right tonight. He stood alone and was courageous enough, and now we have potentially a beachhead of freedom in the Middle East, in Iraq, that could change and turn the whole of humanity in a better direction. And yet Barack Obama opposed that, and we didn't hear really a word about that tonight.
The country could still dissolve into civil war, though, right?
No doubt about it, and I think that was one of the reasons why it was important not to say that, you know, our combat mission has completely ended there.
Right.
We have 50,000 troops still there. They're going to probably be in combat situations, and I think that the president should have acknowledged that and said that we're committed to freedom, whatever it takes. And I think that's the best way to prevent these tragedies. You know, it's not, our combat troops are not exactly, you know, they're not the only tool that we have. Mr. Obama's correct about that. But we forget that when we make it clear that they will be there, that's the strongest ability that we have for diplomacy in the long run, because our resolve is a bigger statement to our friends and our enemies than we realize.
Congressman, thank you very much.
But God bless George Bush. God bless George Bush. He won the battle.
All right. Well put, sir. Thank you very much. With me now, KT McFarland, the former defense